One of the biggest priorities that the Knicks have right now is figuring out Julius Randle's long-term future on the team. Julius has just one more guaranteed year left on his contract. Afterwards, he has a $30 million player option for the 2025-26 season that he's expected to decline, which would make him a free agent next summer. Julius became eligible for a 4-year, $181 million contract extension on August 3rd. The start of the NBA season is really close, with NBA training camp starting at the beginning of October. Yet Randle and the Knicks have yet to come to an agreement, and based on recent reports, it doesn't look like an extension is going to happen anytime soon. The Knicks already made some big long-term commitments this offseason, extending Jalen Brunson and OG Anunoby to large contracts. So why haven't the Knicks extended Randle yet, and will they end up trading him? Let's talk about it. But first, we have to talk about BetUS. If you love the NBA and you're a knowledgeable fan like me, you could place bets on BetUS, and if you're correct, you could win some serious money. I love what the Knicks did this offseason, and I view them as a contender and one of the best teams in the East, so I'm betting on them finishing as a top 3 seed this upcoming season. If you sign up, use the code YouTube150 and receive 150% sign-up bonus on your first deposit and 125% on the second and third deposit. Now back to Julius Randle. The biggest reason why the Knicks haven't signed Randle to an extension yet is because they're hesitant to give him the max money. Randle is a 3-time All-Star, a 2-time All-NBA player, and in the prime of his career. A player of that caliber is obviously worth the max. The issue with maxing out Randle is the impact it would have on the Knicks' total team payroll. Giving Randle a max extension would put the Knicks in the second apron. And for those who don't know, the second apron is a new salary threshold that was introduced in the latest collective bargaining agreement. If a team goes over the second apron, this puts serious limitations on their flexibility. A team in the second apron has severe restrictions on trades and free agency pickups. Once a team enters the second apron, it becomes much more difficult to improve going forward. This is why teams are trying to avoid the second apron like the plague. So with teams being horrified of surpassing the second apron, it makes sense why the Knicks are hesitant to max Randle out. If they do, they're potentially locked into the roster they currently have with little to no maneuverability. It's clear that the Knicks are contenders, but it's also clear that the Knicks front office isn't 100% confident at going all in with this squad. To Julius Randle's credit, he's a hell of a player. He's coming off a monster season, averaging 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists per game. Not only did Randle play at an elite level, but he was able to gel really well alongside his new teammates after the OG Anunoby trade. It was a small sample size, but in the 10 games that the 5-man unit of Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, and Isaiah Hartenstein played together, they went 9-1. It's worth mentioning that the Knicks did have a bit of a shakeup this offseason when they traded for Mikal Bridges. We haven't seen Randle play alongside Mikal, but there's no reason they shouldn't fit together. Mikal Bridges has the offensive and defensive skill set to thrive alongside other stars. And say what you want about Julius Randle, but he's proven to be a team-oriented player willing to adjust his play style to fit alongside other players. We've seen Randle go from dominating as a first option to playing as a second option behind Jalen Brunson. If Coach Tibbs wants Randle to take less shots and play more off the ball, his history suggests he's willing to make that adjustment. And Randle recently said he's willing to accept any role if it leads to wins. I'm sure the big three of Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and Mikal Bridges will be deadly. The issue with Randle has never been in the regular season though. It's always been in the playoffs. For one reason or another, Randle always seems to come short come playoff time. Randle's 2021 playoffs against the Hawks was nothing short of a disaster, where he averaged just 18 points per game on 30% shooting that postseason. But to be fair to Randle, that was his first playoffs as a #1 option, and it's not uncommon for all-star players to struggle in the first postseason of their career. His next playoffs in 2023 was nearly just as bad, but we have to be fair here. Randle was playing through a severe ankle injury that entire playoff run, so he was clearly far from his best. And in the 2024 playoffs, he missed that entire postseason run entirely due to injury. Julius Randle's abilities as a playoff performer is a question mark at best. We haven't seen Randle in the playoffs healthy since 2021, so there's an argument to be made that he deserves the benefit of the doubt, but the fact that he's unproven in the playoffs has to be a major reason the front office doesn't want to give him that max extension, especially when they know they would essentially be going all in with this current roster. What I think the front office really wants to do is have Randle take slightly less than the max. They probably want Randle to take enough of a discount so that the Knicks are under that dreaded second apron. That way, there's still wiggle room to make future moves in case the Knicks need reinforcements. And the Knicks aren't a flawless team. They could still use another big man after Isaiah Hartenstein walked in free agency, so it's understandable why the Knicks front office wants to maintain that flexibility. But Randle probably isn't interested in taking a team discount, and I don't blame him. Typically, NBA players want to make the most money they can while they're still playing, and as they should, because the career of a professional athlete is pretty short. Julius Randle is 29 years old and turns 30 in November, which means this may be the last big payday of his career. I'm sure he wants to make the most money he possibly can. So if Julius Randle and the Knicks don't agree to an extension, what happens next? Well, then the Knicks have a few options. The Knicks could choose to let the year play out and revisit extending Randle in the summer of 2025. Best case scenario, Randle has a good playoffs, the Knicks win the championship, and Leon Rose and the Knicks front office feels confident in maxing out Randle, knowing they're going all in on a championship squad. Let's say the Knicks don't go all the way, but go on a deep run like to the finals or to the conference finals. Then the Knicks may still be fine with maxing out Randle, knowing they'll be a perennial contender for the next few seasons. Of course, using this season to assess Julius Randle is also risky. If the Knicks don't extend Randle, he could be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season, which allows him to go to any team he wants. This means Randle could potentially leave the Knicks for nothing, which would obviously be a massive loss. But this is also risky on Randle's part. Not many teams have cap room in 2025, and the ones that do are bad teams Randle probably wouldn't want to go to, like the Brooklyn Nets and the Washington Wizards. Of course, Randle could also join a team in a sign-and trade, similar to how DeMar DeRozan got acquired by the Sacramento Kings through a sign-and trade this summer. The point is, letting Randle play the year out is incredibly risky because it's never a good thing to let all-star players walk for nothing. If the Knicks don't want to extend Randle to the max or risk letting him walk, they could try to trade him. There's no indication that the Knicks are shopping Randle, but plenty of sports blogs online have been making proposed trades. Bleacher Report recently proposed a trade where the Knicks send out Julius Randle to the Charlotte Hornets and in exchange get Nick Richards and Grant Williams, which isn't a great return. In the NBA, trading all-stars and getting back equal value is extremely difficult. Typically when a team trades an all-star, they usually just get back role players and some picks, but with Randle having a year left on his contract, the Knicks wouldn't have much leverage in trade talks, so don't expect anyone to give up an arm and a leg. Putting Randle on the trade block is also incredibly risky because it's unlikely anyone is giving the Knicks an all-star in return that could replace Randle's production, and shopping Randle would only make him disgruntled, which is the last thing the Knicks need with the team chemistry being pretty good right now. So there you have it, Knicks fans. Those are the Knicks front office 3 different options when it comes to dealing with Julius Randle going forward. They could either extend him now, and assuming that Randle and his representatives aren't backing down from their contract demands, that probably means giving Randle that max extension. They could look to trade him, or they could just let the year play out and revisit this next summer. And this is a really tough decision that Leon Rose and the Knicks front office is going to have to make, because there's no playing it safe here. No matter what they're doing, they're going to be taking a gamble. Every decision is coming with an incredible amount of risk. Giving Randle that max extension is risky because say it doesn't work out in terms of the Knicks next year and they still need a lot of help. Now your future flexibility to make trades and free agency moves to continue to improve the team is gone. If they trade him, there's no guarantee that they're going to get equal or even good return back. And if they choose to just let the year play out, well then he can just walk and leave for nothing. So it's a really difficult decision to make. But now I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think of the Julius Randle situation? What do you think the Knicks need to do with him going forward? Let me see your thoughts down below in the comment section. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I hope to see you guys next video. out.